What's up, everybody? Hello. Oh, why is the timer at 5 hours? Welcome. It's been a good minute since I've done this before. I think everything's set up. Okay. I think this will work. Welcome. Hello. Duke Dugnuts, Basshole, the Basshole, Grim the Wanderer, Chubo, Samson, Shuttleward. Oh, thanks for the sub. Oh, I forgot how good that song is. Gangrel, welcome. Good to see you. Everybody, it's been far too long. I have some free time in the near future. Quite a bit of free time in the near future, thanks to our lovely global pandemic. So I'm going to play some video games live on the internet for everyone else to watch. I hope you enjoy. Today, we got Weird Island. We got to delve straight into the dankest depths of DOS games. No cigarettes to smoke in this game? You never know. I don't know what's going on in this game. I know almost nothing about it. But we're going to play Weird Island today. What is Weird Island, you might ask? Why is it spelled wrong? Sometimes it's not spelled wrong. It's a mystery that maybe we can solve. This is a shareware DOS game. Looks like it came out in 1992. So it's been out for a while. Oh, I've missed that music in my life. The Legend of Gel jingle. Yes, Shuttle. I before E, except in weird, or after C, or sounded as an A, like neighbor or way, or Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the second half of May, and you know how it goes. That's English grammar for you. Where to start on Weird Dreams? Let's look at the manual. We don't have a manual. This is a DOS shareware game. There's a little text file here, weird.txt, that comes with the game. Let's look at this. Hello, Dan Z Man, welcome. Duke, thanks for the sub, the gift sub to Mr. Hole. It's much appreciated. Program, audio, visuals, documentation, copyright C, 1992, Kevin A. Lee. So this program is not free, it is shareware. This is an ideal that allows software authors like myself to distribute their programs at little or no cost, etc., etc. I need 512 kilobytes of RAM. I think I'm okay there. Did I say Weird Dreams? I'll probably mix that up a few times. Hard disk drive. I have a solid state drive, so I might not be compatible. Getting started. This isn't too important. I already have it all set up. The game. This is the juice. The real meat of the README. Weird Island is a graphic adventure which uses an original point-and-click interface, eradicating the need for typing of complex sentences. Features graphic illustrations of every location from a first-person perspective. This allows you to take part in the game as yourself, not some computer character. Plot of the game is as follows. Leafing through the newspaper one morning, you come across a notice requesting your presence at Hugh Pugh and Barney McGrew solicitors to Elizabeth Taylor. Puzzled, and who wouldn't be, the next day you visit the solicitors where you're told that you've come into possession of a remote island paradise. The island was apparently claimed by 5 galley slaves many, many years ago, one of whom was your ancestor. It's nice to know who you're descended from, oh gosh, Bassel. I know the two glaring errors here, they hurt my soul as well. But we're just gonna have to live with it. Ownership of the island passes between the families of the founders every 100 years, and your family is next in line to do with the island what you wish. You were supposed to be told this by the previous owner of the island, but he seems to have conveniently disappeared. Anyway, the solicitors suggest you go out to the island to see for yourself. Strangely, you feel happy to oblige. Weird Island uses a consistent user interface, not a graphic user interface. This uses a CUI in order to tell its story. Once you've got to grips with the basic concepts of the interface, you should be able to use it intuitively. Diagram below labels each part of the interface. You like these hot jams, Game Girl? Pure bliss of silence. I enjoy it. Text window, picture window, sentence window. Everything has their own window. Taking each window in order, the relevance of each one is as follows. It's compared to Amiga games, which use an inconsistent user interface, but they also have sick borders, so that makes up for the inconsistency. You know, I'm not really too concerned with this. This all seems pretty self-explanatory. It all seems pretty self-explanatory. Keyboard commands. Yeah. What else is there to say? Weird Island. Let's just play the video game. Like, what is that? Grim Blood? With a giant picture of eyes that just constantly look around and talks to you in a robotic, digitized voice. Oh, I should play Grim Blood. There's too many game. There's just so many game. I think... Oh yeah, there's one other text file that comes with the game. Pull this up real quick. As I do before I play any game ever on stream, we have to thoroughly, exhaustively check out everything that comes with the game before actually playing it. Weird Island registration. So this is one thing that's... I've been curious about this for probably close to a year now, since I first heard of this game. To register Weird Island, send a contribution of, it's supposed to be £10, or above to me at the address below. In return, you will receive the following software. So he offers a game called Downtown. This is the only reference to this game anywhere in the world. I'm not sure it's an actual game. Graphic adventure similar in style to Weird Island with a more adult content. A private detective has been murdered. Some photographs are missing. The local crime lord seems distinctly nervous. As a police investigator in the city of Dies Man, you're assigned the case no one wants. EGA, VGA, hard disk required. Might not matter. I might not be able to run it with my solid state drive. Mouse recommended. So I have not been able to find anything about this game. I really want to play it. I might try and track down Mr. Lee and like shoot him an email to see if he actually made the game or not. But first, before I get ahead of myself, let's play Weird Island. I almost said Weird Dreams. Let's play Weird Island. That's not in the right spot. Oh, it'll fix itself. Don't worry. Advent. Let's go. This is the same as the register. Weird Al Land. I'd like that. I used to be big into Weird Al when I was just a wee little child. Welcome, Final Technique. Good to see you. VGA, PC speaker, or no sound at all? This is actually a tough choice. We're going to have to go with the PC speaker. Mouse and keyboard. Notice the spelling. Weird Island now is spelled differently. Give me a moment to fix this now. Go like that. All this black space in my shoddily designed layout. Okay. Mystery person claims island. The Daily Rag. Is that me? Am I the mystery person there? Oh, start the timer. So here we go. Wired Island. This is it. It's a point and click adventure game. I get the feeling that's the only music that we're ever going to hear. The boat is rusty, has many holes in its sides. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere. You forgot an apostrophe there. I could use like the keyboard for everything here. This is pretty slick. Sign reads, "This harbor is hereby closed. Any violation will result in a really unpleasant and yucky death." Signed, Hemorrhoides. Who's Hemorrhoides? Why is he signing signs? Look at this window. Is this the picture window? They have all these colors to choose from, but it's all like the same shade of poop. This is impressive. Okay, I'm excited. Let's go left. Looks like we have a fisherman in a large box. This is hard to distinguish what I'm actually looking at here. Let's examine the fisherman. Fisherman snoozes quietly. In his sleep, he mumbles something about bloody foreigners and hemorrhoides. Everyone has hemorrhoids. Let's examine the large box. It's a large wooden box. Let's open the box. Open the box and see another box. Oh boy. Where is this going? It's a large to medium-sized wooden box. Let's open that one. Open the box and see another box. I'm amazed. Opening the third box. Oh no! Go back. Got a small box now. Let's open the small box. Open the box and see a note. Examine the note. Message on the note says, "Please keep these boxes tidy." The fisherman giggles, then dozes off again. I think we've been trolled. Immediately, the game trolls you. This is a good sign of things to come. Take the note. Got it. Can I take all these boxes? Got them all. Can I take the fisherman? You are unable to take that. Let's talk to this guy. Speak fisherman. Fisherman says, "So you're the new owner land lover? I wouldn't tell anyone who you are. They live in fear of hemorrhoids. The boss around here now." It's going to take me a minute every time I see these grammar errors. It always takes me a second. I thought it was landlubber, not land lover. Let's speak to him again. Speak fisherman. Okay. Do I speak fisherman? Apparently I do. Fishermen's they have a fear of hemorrhoids, and they giggle when people open boxes. Right? Let's leave. Clearing. Examine the herbs. Looks like some kind of yellowish flower. Let's take some herb. Oops, that took me back to the harbor. Go down. We're in the jungle. Examine. I can't examine the room. I can only examine objects. Where'd that can come from? Okay. Examine the can. It's a can of Coke-free Diet Pepsi. Still has some liquid in it. Okay. Let's pick up everything we can. It's the adventure game way. I'm lost already. Rock has many sharp and dangerous edges on the beach. This looks like a desert. I thought this was a desert. I guess this is the beach. Like, this is the ocean here. And this is like the sand. I thought this was a desert at first, and these were like dunes, and that's the sun. I guess that's what happens when everything's the same color of poop. Take rock. I can't take it. Sure. Sea and fish. Let's examine the sea. Sea looks cool and beckons you. But your quest is on the island. Examine the fish. Some kind of colored herring. Wonder what color it is. Take fish. Got it. I am totally confused and turned around and lost. Let's just keep wandering. It's a shell here. It's a large and beautiful conch. Oh, I didn't even notice I can push and pull. Yeah, I'll try. Excuse me. I'll try and make my way back there and push and pull the rock. Take the shell. This way, this way. Push rock. If you did that, you'd cut yourself on the rock, die from lack of blood, and then where would you be? I can't pull it either. Oh, we're on a beach with a palm tree now. Tree seems to stretch up into the sky forever. Use the tree. Speak to tree. Open the tree. Push tree. Pull tree. Sea and seaweed. I could files the rock. File the sharp edges down. It's green and sticky. Are you sure you want to carry the seaweed? Yes. Oh, inventory limit. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hey, Jiggy with the host. Welcome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. Hope Doom went okay. You were getting to some brutally difficult levels right when I was last watching. I'm sure it's not any easier on a PlayStation controller compared to keyboard and mouse, which is how I played it. So I hope it went well. Oh, nice. You got through E4 M1. Thy flesh consumed. I'm playing Weird Island because what else should you do when you're home from work besides play old shareware DOS games? It's really the best thing I could think of doing. I need to start dropping some items. I got a bunch of garbage here. Let's drop the small box. take seaweed. Wired island. It depends on who you ask, Basil. It's both weird and wired. Someplace new. Sandcastle entrance. So we have a soldier here. Looks very soldier-esque, I suppose. Looks like he's got jeans, no shirt, and a helmet? Maybe some glasses and a mustache? Let's examine him. Soldier blocks your entrance to the sand castle. He is made of sand. Okay. Can I just push him over? He's made of sand. He'll crumble. Speak, soldier. Soldier looks you up and down, then comments, "Can't let peasants in. Gotta keep our standards up." Chuckles to himself. What's going on in this game? I can't push him over. He's made of sand. He will crumble. Alright, so we got our first puzzle. Have to figure out how to make it past the soldier. I can use items. I can't, like, give them. So let's just use all of our items here. Let's use a fish on soldier. Achieve nothing with the fish. Let's use a can. Soldier. Let's just fill up the can with water. Beach, beach, jungle, 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 clearing. Oh, jungle, beach, beach, shore. Okay. Use can on sea. Oh, I was hoping I could fill up the can with water and splash him. He's made of sand. Okay, we got some more. A couple more locations here. There's a village entrance, lakeshore. Is this in Moby Games? Yeah, in the Moby. I actually have the Moby Games page for it pulled up here on my other monitor. It's on Mr. Pichardo's master list as well, which I think is how I found out about it. I'm in a lake. Achieve nothing. Hey, Speed Gaming News, welcome. Shareware, my favorite game genre. Yeah, I'm a big fan myself. Path. Got a hut door. Let's examine the hut door. Sturdy wooden door has one word scrawled onto it. Chief. Obviously, spelling lessons aren't high on the agenda in this village. Where does the narrator get off talking about the spelling of these indigenous tribes people when he can't even speak correctly himself? It's a hypocrite. Door is locked. What's this? A statue. Examine the statue. Huge statue of a large god-like figure stretches up into the clouds. The nails of 1 foot are all painted. Yeah, exactly. Glass houses. Examine the first tone. They're painted in dirt-colored, mud-colored, poop-colored, vomit-colored, and brown. Nope, I lied. This one's blue, orange, red, green, yellow. This seems like important information. You know what we do with important information? Write it down. Take notes. I already forgot. So we got 5 toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Examine the first toe. It's blue. Examine the second toe. It's orange. Examine third toe. Red. Examine fourth toe. Nope, nope, nope. Green. Examine fifth toe. Yellow. Borgie. They are Borgie toes. Hugo's House of Horrors and Microman. I'm a big fan of Hugo myself. When I was just a small little child, I played so much of Hugo and Hugo 2. Whodunit. I never really played the third one. I remember playing the first two a ton. I don't think I've played Microman. I'll probably recognize it if I saw it. Oh, okay. Explore. We got fruit here. Various kinds of fruit, but they all seem inedible. Oh, my inventory's still full. I haven't quite grasped fully the navigation here. Because there's a door here that's locked. I assume they're talking about this one. But I can just walk up into the hut? Or is this a different hut? Stinky, Weasel, Teats, Metal, Dirt, Monkey, welcome. Thank you for the host. Good to see you. It's been a while since I've done this. Let's look at the Medicine Man here. Medicine Man's short and spindly. Wears a mask. He has a patient? I guess he has a patient. The patient seems to be in some pain. He looks like someone important. Speak to the Medicine Man. Medicine Man snaps at you. Clear off me enough trouble already. Oh, he's in enough trouble already, so get away. Let's speak to the patient. Let's out a scream of pain. Let's see if we can figure out what's happening here. This is the Medicine Man, obviously. Look at his head. It's very Medicine Man-esque. This must be his patient lying on the table here. But then what's this? Does he have a mushroom growing out of his head? Eye, nose, mouth. There's his collar. Because everyone has collars. I think he's sick with the mushroom. Let's use herbs on Medicine Man. Use herbs on the patient. You ram the herb into the patient's mouth and force him to swallow it. After some strange convulsions, the patient suddenly feels better. Puzzle solved. Speak to Medicine Man. Medicine Man bows to you and smiles contently. Speak to the patient. The patient says, I am chief of this village. Feel free to wander. Take this key to our humble homes and beware of hemorrhoids. Examine the key. It's rough cut and unusually large. Got the key to the city. So now we can use the key on this hut door. Use village key, hut door, open hut door. Oh, now I can go down? Description has a spelling error. Oh, did I spell weird wrong? Sorry. You notice how in the top, the title, it's W-I-E-R-D? I have to make sure it's inconsistent for consistency's sake. Hey, One Short Eye, welcome. It is a Bilbo stream. I have time off, no work. Thanks to our global pandemic, I've got some free time, so I'm going to play some video games. I haven't done this in a while. Good to see you. Breathing equipment. This archaic equipment looks like it could be used to breathe underwater. I'm going to want that. I'm carrying all these useless, what I assume is useless garbage. So let's just drop some stuff. Drop the note. Drop the medium. I'll keep the large box. Canned fish shell. I'll keep those for now. Take breathing equipment. Let's get out of here. Live in Taiwan. You're like 80 miles from the scary place. Ooh, boy. But, okay, that's good to hear that you're doing quite well. Yeah, I'm up in, kind of by Seattle. So it hit us pretty hard. We still have the statue here. The Seattle Sprawl. Yeah, you could say that. Hey, Lobstigator. That's one way to do it. Hey, it worked for me. So, you never know. Okay, I got... So it looks like the navigation is kind of absolute. Going up will always take me up, even if I turn around. Going back will take me back to where I was. Okay, I'm starting to get the hang of this. Oh, vine. Examine the vine. It's a long rope-like plant. Take it. Mountain entrance. Mountain path. A bear. Examine the bear. Large, unhappy bear is guarding a cave and rubbing its stomach. Speak. Bear. Bear lets out a menacing growl that shakes the very fibers of your underwear. What? What is this game? Use fish on bear. Achieve nothing with the fish. It is likely a red herring. Some kind of colored herring. Bear is obviously famished. What's the can? Maybe the bear is just thirsty. Use can on bear. Achieve nothing. Take the bear. Drop the bear. I won't let me. What? How did I get here? Did I just cheat? No? Oh. The bear is guarding the cave, which is behind him. I went back into the retreat entrance. Okay. Makes perfect sense. Door is small and wooden. It has an alcove in it. Alcove is hexagonal in shape. What shape is my shell? Let's use the shell on the alcove. Achieve nothing. What does the key look like? Rough cut and usually large. Use key on alcove. Just open the door. Open the alcove, push the alcove, pull the alcove, file the alcove. Oh, nope, that's save, load, cancel. Back here. Talk to the fisherman. Oh, back to the start. Looks like we've done a full lap around the game world. I feel like there's more places I missed, though. Oh, yep. There's a temple over here. Should have known. A tomb door and a temple door. This door marks the entrance to a magnificent tomb. This door marks the entrance to a strange temple which towers into the sky. On the door there are 5 bells. Examine the first bell. Oops, examine the first bell. Consists of a piece of string attached to a small bell. Are they all going to say the same thing? Yes. Looks like we got another puzzle here. Can I just open the door ignoring the bells? Door's locked. Open the tomb door. Door's locked. They're both locked. Push the door. Pull the door. Push the first bell. Use the first bell. Ooh, I made a nice noise. See, the game's not in total silence. We got some music. Or at least some sound. Okay. So we got 5 bells here. There were 5 toes earlier that were painted different colors. There's no real way to correlate the two, though. And they sounded like the same notes to me. See if we use 4. Yeah, it's definitely the same little fart each time. So it's got to just be ring the 5 bells in a specific order to open the temple. Can I speak to the bells? Can't talk to that. That's silly. Keep wandering. So there's a lake here, but I can't do anything in the lake. The only way to interact with these screens is by what's in the bottom right box here. So if there's nothing in the bottom right box, then there's nothing on that screen. Where's that statue at? Medicine Man. It's my crap. This one, statue. I want to climb the statue using my vine. Use vine statue. Vine fails to work in that way. Push statue. Pull statue. Push vine? Speak to statue? What was this fruit? Can I take the fruit? I could. Last in my inventory is full, so I didn't take it. So if I examine the fruit, it just says there are various kinds of fruit, but they all seem inedible. So apparently I just grabbed a handful of different fruits, shoved them into my pocket. Let's go back. Okay, now we're back on the beach. So we have this rock here. Can I open the fruit with the rock? Bash the fruit onto the rock. I wonder if I can use containers here. Let's see if the game's advanced enough, or if I can figure out how to use containers if it is advanced enough. Let's use the can on large box. Achieve nothing. Open the large box. Close large box. Try as you might, you don't seem to be able to put the boxes back together. You might as well leave them. I won't tell anyone. I don't think I need these boxes. Palm tree. What was this? Can I climb the palm tree? Use palm tree on palm tree. Use seaweed on palm tree. Use vine, palm tree. Several. After several miserable attempts, you managed to throw the end of the vine up into the tree, and now you can climb it to the west. This game is full of highly logical puzzles. Oh, it's a treehouse. Examine cocoa nut. The cocoa nut is large and round and hairy. I'll take it. Let's bash this on the rock. Use coconut on rock. Break coconut in two on the rock, and the milk runs out. I still have it in my inventory. What did that actually do? Alright, let's go underwater. Use breathing equipment on C. Achieve nothing. Good day, sir. Here we go. Let's use some items on the soldier here. Speak to him first. Maybe he says something different. Can't let peasants in. Gotta keep our standards up. Use coconut on him. The soldier flicks the coconut away with disdain. You get the impression he could do the same to you. Fruit on soldier. Fruit fails to work in that way. Huh. Whoops. Huh. So it gave a different message when I tried to use the coconut on him. Maybe that's some sort of clue that I need to do something else with the coconut. Maybe I need to put the lime in the coconut. How do I get out of here? I think I've about exhausted all the different areas. I'm getting myself lost again. Mountain path. Oh, bear. What's up, bear? Use coconut on bear. You achieve nothing. Fruit on bear. Bear grabs fruit off you. Runs away contentedly. He leaves a deposit. And looks like the bear didn't enjoy the fruit much. Yuck. I got the bear poo. Well, let's just take a moment here and really take in this cave. Look at this artwork. This is high quality artwork. Examine the flint. It's a sharp piece of flint rock. Take it. So what do I need to burn? Quiet phone. What do I need to burn? Oh, I still have some items I could use here. It's alcove. Let's put the flint in the alcove. Burn the door down. Stuff the poop in the alcove. Whoops. Put the coconut. Nope. Use coconut on the alcove. Coconut on the door. I don't think I need the can, the fish, the shell, or the seaweed. I tried using the shell. Okay, so this is one mystery. And we have all these bells here. I have yet to see any clue to know what order to ring these bells in, but there might not be any clue. Pop. I mean, I don't want to brute force them. We'll leave that there for now. Fisherman doesn't say anything new. What's the boat and the sign? Boat is rusty, has many holes. Sign reads the harbor is hereby closed. Okay, take the sign. Ah, full. Full. Let's drop this red herring. Take the sign. Take the boat. Push sign. Push boat. Pull sign. Pull boat. No brute forcing, not yet. I'm not above brute forcing. In fact, got my handy dandy notebook here. If we go back in time, a few months, you can see when I can't really see that very well. I tried to brute force a combination of a safe in an excellent game titled Lords of Doom. Let's push him. Pull him. He's just a friendly fisherman. I have not tried combining too many items. In fact, I think I've tried like one single combination. That's a good idea. I should definitely do that. If I use the flint on the coconut, it doesn't give me any message. But because of the way the UI is set up, I can only use the items that are on screen right now. So I can only use the flint on items 1, 2, and 3. If I scroll the inventory up, I can no longer use the flint on the key. Well, I might be able to, can I? If I use flint... Okay, yeah, I can. I'm silly. I'm silly. I understand now. Oh! Oh. It's just a little tedious here. Flint doesn't work. Breathing equipment? What's this breathing equipment again? Archaic equipment looks like it could be used to breathe underwater. This must be what I need to be using. Oh, I just used it. Oh, I just needed to use it. Maybe now I can go into the sea. I have to find the sea. This way. Beach. Shore. Examine the sea. Use sea. Speak to sea. Let's use the breathing equipment again. Oh, nope. Okay, so it's still on. Oh, seaweed doesn't taste too bad for seaweed, that is. Dude! You do something with the droppings too disgusting to be described. Okay, where's those bells? So I use the shell. Am I supposed to match those notes? But the problem is, if I use the first bell, second bell, they all make the same tone. What's the seaweed look like? Green and sticky. Are you sure you want to carry it? No, I'm not. What's our two doors? There's a tomb and a temple. The temple door's got the 5 bells. Yeah, you read that right, Short Eye. It's Coke-free Diet Pepsi. Diet Pepsi, but without any of that Coke business in there. Can I pull the bells? Pulling them rings. I can't take the bells, can I? No. I really don't want to brute force this. It's the cave. The entrance here. What's the alcove look like again? It's hexagonal. So I need some sort of hexagonal item or key of some sort to put into the alcove to unlock this door. I can't just use the key that I have because it fails to work. Maybe I need to sharpen the key into a point on that sharp rock that's back here. Nope. I can't take this rock. I did use it to break the coconut, but I haven't done anything with the coconut since. Put the poop, smear the poop all over the rock. Use flint on the rock. C is an object I can look at. Well, the text prompts me not to go into the sea. My quest is on the island, yet I have breathing equipment. I'm wearing breathing equipment. Use the sea. Take the sea. Open the sea. Close the sea. Just trying to make sure I haven't missed any paths here. Speak to these people again. Medicine Man bows to you and smiles contentedly. Chief says, please wander about. Medicine Man short, spindly, wears a mask. Patient seems to be slowly recovering. Thanks to your help, Stud. Oh, this is a game. Use droppings. Whoops, use droppings on the patient, on the Medicine Man. This is the room that had the breathing equipment in it. It's got to be something with the statue. Examine the statue. Huge statue of a large godlike figure stretches up into the clouds. The nails of one foot are all painted. This has got to be... It's got to be a correlation here between the 5 bells. Because this is a large godlike figure. The bells are hanging outside the door to a temple. The temple goes high into the clouds or the sky when you examine it. This goes high into the clouds. It's got to be related. It's all about the 5 toes. Examine the first toe. I already have all the colors written down. First one's blue, then orange, then red, then green, then yellow. Maybe I just do like order of the rainbow. That would be the third. It's red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. I'll try that. Try that. Whoa! Oh, yeah, I can just go under the lake now. The weeds are long and thick. They seem to gel together with two L's. I can't take the weeds. Using the flint, you cut a gap through the weeds? Okay. Underwater passage. A cavern with boulders. Boulders look as if they have only recently... Sorry. Spelling errors kind of throw me for a loop, and the boulders look as if they have only recently come to rest here. Might need to push these. Oops. Speak to boulders. Push boulders. Pull boulders. Poop all the boulders. I might need to do that. Achieve nothing. Use flint on boulders. Use coconut on boulders. Use the shell. Yeah! Noise causes an avalanche. After the dust clears, you see a passage. Storage room. Ooh, a jewel. Large reddish six-sided jewel. Massive hint. Oh, yes. How do I get back to that? Oh, mountain. Mountain's this way. Nope, mountain is this way. Okay. Use jewel alcove. You place the jewel in the alcove. The door lets out a click, slowly opens. Hey, that's the guy from the picture on the newspaper. He's the previous owner. And he has a weapon. Let's look at him. He looks like the previous owner of the island. Does not look. Very well from his imprisonment. He appears to be very grateful. Okay. Look at the weapon. It's a long, sharp weapon. It's black and vibrates? What the heck kind of weapon is this? Speak to him. The man says, I am the owner of this island, imprisoned by the evil monk hemorrhoids. Here, take this weapon. It is the one thing that can kill him. Sure. Let's speak to him. He says the same thing. Use droppings on the previous owner. You achieve nothing. Use coconut. Previous owner. You achieve nothing. Use can on him. Shell. Seaweed. Village key. Can I just cut my way into the sandcastle now? I think that's the only places. No, there's the tomb, the temple, and the sandcastle. 3 places left to explore. How do I get back there? Oh, here it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's try ringing these 5 bells. Assuming that bell number 1 corresponds to toe number 1, bell 2 is toe 2, bell 3 is toe 3. The 5 toes all have colors painted on them. We're just going to go the order of the rainbow. So we're going to ring the 3rd bell, because that was red. Nope. Use 3rd bell, it's 8. Use the 2nd bell, because that was orange. Ring the 5th bell, because that was yellow. 4th bell, because that was green. And the 1st bell. Oh my gosh. There we go. Easy game. It was a very obvious puzzle. Staircase. Be a new background here. It wasn't very obvious. I was totally guessing there. But, I mean, there are connections to be made. The temple door towers into the sky. The statue towers into the sky. 5 and 5. It's tenuous. But there was a link. And this is color. Let's look at these scales here. The scales bear the legend, Scales of Injustice. I'll drop my shell because I've used my shell. Same with the breathing equipment. I've used that. Same with the village key. I've used that. Let's take the Scales of Injustice. Oh no, I have to use them. You are slightly too heavy to use these particular scales. So I dropped everything. I'm still slightly too heavy to use these particular scales. Scales of Injustice. Let's put some poop on there. Achieve nothing. The weapon seems to have a mind of its own. It will not do that. It must be a female weapon. A long, sharp weapon. It's black and vibrates. Oh boy. Let's not overthink this. Take the coconut. I haven't used the seaweed or the can. The game kind of tells me not to take the seaweed. Let's take the can. Let's take the seaweed. I'm not really sure what to do here. Oops, use the same object twice. Scales bear the legend, Scales of Injustice. Interesting. So now we just have the tomb on the left that I can't seem to open. And then there's the sandcastle. Speak to the soldier. This must be where hemorrhoids is. Let's use the weapon on him. Can't seem to use the weapon on anything in my inventory or anything in the game world for that matter. Puzzled here. I don't really have any leads to how to get past this guy. Can't let peasants in, gotta keep our standards up. So he enjoys puns. Is that a clue? I can't push him, I can't pull him. What did this note say? I think this note was something stupid. Oh, the message on the note says, "Please keep these boxes tidy." The fisherman giggles and dozes off again. So the fisherman still giggles, even though we're nowhere near him. What's the deal with the coconut? Coconut's large, round, and hairy. It's been broken in two. So I broke the coconut, but why? What was the purpose? I've done everything in the mountain pass. Got Mr. Neck here. There's gotta be some way to get into this tomb door. Marks the entrance to a magnificent tomb. I can't just open it. Can't push it or pull it. Hey, Briar Cub, welcome. Weird Monday. Wired Monday. We're playing some Weird Island today. Scales of Injustice. Use the coconuts on it. Are the scales just like floating? Look at that. They're casting a shadow. Scales of Injustice are literally just floating here. Let's take this flint rock. Use that on the door. Use the flint on the soldier. I'm hoping this doesn't turn into a case of needing to gather up all the items I've left scattered throughout the game world and just using every single item on the door, the scales, and the soldier. Because those are the only 3 things I haven't done anything with. I haven't done anything with the fisherman. You just speak to him. So you're the new owner, land lover? I wouldn't tell anyone who you are. They live in fear of hemorrhoids, the boss around here now. Let's try using my items on him. No. I haven't done anything on this screen either. This is the screen where you start the game. Another aesthetic masterpiece. Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what this is. Boat's rusty, has many holes in its sides, doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Let's take the fish. I guess we'll start gathering up my items and using them on these things. Where's fish? Fish? Fish! Oh, it's 4. Oh, it's at the bottom. Okay. Fishermen say, looks like a red herring to me, mate. Falls asleep. See, whenever I find a red herring in an adventure game, like a literal red herring, it makes me think of The Secret of Monkey Island, where you find a literal red herring and it has a purpose. So I'm a little wary about just tossing this red herring thinking it's useless, despite the game explicitly telling me it's a red herring. Let's go. Gosh, I always get lost here. I just tried to use the fish. You've never tasted boiled intestines before, but if you had, you imagine they might taste somewhat like this fish. Let's open the soldier up. Let's close him. I can't push him. Let's push the fish. Why can't I ever find my way back to the temple? There we go. Just gotta use everything on everything. I'm not having much success here. So if I just try to use the scales, you are slightly too heavy to use these particular scales. I can't take them. I can't do any other action with them. I can't push, I can't pull, can't open, can't close. The scales of injustice. Let's listen to some music here. Maybe I need to be using the scales on something. Use the scales on the fish. That makes sense. Fish have scales. you drop the droppings, it says, thank goodness for that. I seem to have reached an impasse. So we have 3 separate things. 3 different things that I haven't done anything with. I solved a very complex puzzle to get to this tower in which the scales of injustice are, but I can't do anything with them. At least not that I can see. So there's got to be something to do here. There's a door on the left here. A tomb door. Marks the entrance to a magnificent tomb. I do not seem to have the means of opening this door. It's locked. Have I tried talking to the scales? I'm sure I have. Can't talk to that. So there's 2 different things right there. And last, the sandcastle entrance here. The soldier is blocking my path. He's made of sand. There has to be some sort of clue. How would you get rid of a man made of sand? I mean, you literally just ignore him, push him over. Pour water on him? Throw a coconut at him? I have a coconut. It's large and round and hairy. It's been broken in 2. So I assume the coconut milk is like still in there. I could just like pour it on him. But I try to use the coconut on the soldier, and he flicks it away with disdain. Get the impression he could do the same with you. I use the soldier. Oh my god. You haven't got time for sexual acts. Get on with your quest. There's all these boxes everywhere. Maybe I do need the boxes. Maybe I need the boxes. Let's pick up these boxes again. Take the large box. Take the small box. Pretty sure there were 4 different boxes. Did I leave one here? Nope, here's the other 2. Take the large box, take the medium small box. Maybe I need to use these boxes to balance the scales of injustice. So we have a large box, large medium, medium small, and a small. Put 2 on one side, put 2 on the other. Theoretically, I could balance the scales with the boxes. Achieve nothing. Don't seem to be able to use the boxes on anything. I can't even close the boxes. The scales of injustice. What is going on here? I can't take them. Unable to. Managed to move the box. Door's already... Oh, whoops. Can I close the temple door again? Can I still open it? It locks. I have to ring the bells to reopen the temple. Of course. What if I have to ring the bells on this door and then I can only open one of the two doors? Or maybe the scales of injustice. Maybe I need to ring the bells in the opposite order to open the other door. This seems very silly and contrived, so it's probably it. Let's ring the bells again. Stop texting me, phone. I'm trying to play Weird Island. Use the first bell. Did I do it? I didn't. I might have locked myself out of the temple. Okay, let's try this again. So we need to ring the bells in a specific order. 3, 2, 5, 4, 1. So let's ring the third bell. Ring the second bell. Ring the fifth bell. Ring the fourth bell. Ring the first bell. This isn't good. You can only open this door once. Need the hex jewel thing on the door. I don't seem to be able to take the hex jewel out of the door again. Oh, I just locked this door. I'm relocking all these doors. So in this game, if you unlock a door and then open it, good. Never close it again, because as soon as you close it, you can never reopen it. So I just locked the guy back in there. I'm probably going to have to restart my game. It will probably take me roughly 5 seconds to get back to where I was. Yeah, I need to reset. On the other square, to the left, was elegantly engraved in capital letters this sentence. All things move to their end. It's deep. Advent. What's with the blue man? Arising from the desert? Alright, we're back. First things first, take the herb. I'm going to leave the boxes there. Bear needs the fruits. I could probably just straight up ring the bells right now. So let's do that. I'm assuming that the toenails do not change colors between playthroughs. It's likely a fixed order. Oops. Nope, nope, nope. Pull. Let's use pull instead of use. Third bell. Second bell. Fifth bell. Fourth bell. First bell. See, the door automatically opens, but it's programmed to only do that once. So don't ever close that door. Alright, back to the scales of injustice. Oh, you sample the herb, feel a bit lightheaded for the moment. You suddenly feel like putting on a Doors tape and mellowing out. I love the Doors. Okay, take the vine. Take the fruit. Use the herbs on the patient. So he gets better. We speak to the patient. He gives us the key. We take the key. Go outside. We use key on the door. Open the door. Never close that door again. We're going to drop the key right here. Take breathing equipment. Use the breathing equipment. There's a can here. I never did use this can. Coke-free Diet Pepsi. Still has some liquid in it. I'm going to take the can. I don't have the flint yet, so I can't get past these weeds. Use the vine on the palm tree. Go west. Take the coconut. Use the coconut. Maybe I'm not supposed to use the coconut on the rock. Okay, take the shell. Where did I get the flint? It was behind the bear. Use fruit on bear. He leaves some turds. Take the flint. Nope, we want to go this way. Use flint on the weeds. Use the shell. get the jewel. So now on the shore here, I'm going to drop the breathing equipment and the shell. Back here to the retreat door, we examine the door. Use the jewel on the alcove. The door opens automatically. Never shut this door again. Speak to the owner. Take this weapon. Long, sharp weapon. It's black and vibrates. Can I use the owner? It says the same thing. Speak to the weapon. Do everything I can with this guy here. Use can on him, use coconut on him, use flint on him, use weapon on him. Don't seem to be able to actually use the weapon. It has a mind of its own. Hey, Tango. It must be a female weapon. It has a mind of its own. Oh, this is such a video game. So I'm already back to where I was. We have a door to the left here that I can't seem to open. The scales of injustice here. I don't know what the purpose of these scales are. I can't use the scales. I'm slightly too heavy. How would I make myself lighter? Well, drop all my possessions. Go back on here, use the scales. Still slightly too heavy. I can't take them. How would I lose a little bit of weight? Let's take the can. Because this is Coke-free Diet Pepsi. Maybe if I drink this Diet Coke-free Pepsi, I'll lose weight. Okay, this can seems to be endless. Maybe I've drank enough. Slightly too heavy. Now I have a coconut. It's large, it's round, it's hairy. I can open this coconut by smashing it onto a rock. I don't know why I would want to, but it is something I can do. You know, let's save. Oh, save. Okay. Did that actually do anything? Yeah, seems to have. Let's take the coconut, take the weapon, take the can. I'm going to leave the flint there. I've used the flint once. Seems like the type of video game where you use an item once and only once. I head back to the beach here. Can use coconut on the rock. Break the coconut in two on the rock and the milk runs out. Okay. I don't know what that accomplished. But maybe I can use the coconut on the scales. Drop the coconut, use the scales. Whoops, use the scales. Yeah, I can take the coconut use the scales. Drop the can, drop the weapon, use the scales. Take the weapon, take the can. This is bizarre. Now there's a fish here, some kind of colored herring. It's an object I haven't done anything with. Seaweed here, green and sticky. Are you sure you want to carry it? Another object I haven't done anything with. So I should probably carry the seaweed around. The fish, I get the feeling, is a red herring. I mean, it is a red herring. It is a literal red herring. Doesn't mean it's not useful. When we come to the soldier. Yeah, exactly, Tango. Exactly. Whenever I see a red herring in a video game, I'm instantly reminded of Monkey Island, where a literal red herring is the key to solving a puzzle. You can't just discard it immediately. Use weapon on the soldier, doesn't work. Use can on the soldier, achieve nothing. Use seaweed on him, does nothing. Use fish on him, does nothing. Use coconut on him. Soldier flicks the coconut away with disdain. What happens if I try and use the solid coconut on him? Let's take the coconut. Let's use the solid coconut on him. He still flicks it away with disdain. So if we speak to the soldier, can't let peasants in, gotta keep our standards up, chuckles to himself. Notice the dead pixel there in the artwork. Remember a literal wet red herring whiz kit, though that was useless, along with a white elephant. Nice. Yeah, so you can't, just because something seems like it's pointless and just there to distract you, doesn't necessarily mean it is. Yeah, maybe I need to disguise myself as a sand person. Because he's made of sand. It says it right there. He is made of sand. They need to keep their standards up. They can't let peasants into this castle. Enter sand. The problem is, you can only interact with objects in the bottom right corner of the screen here. Like there's a palm tree I can use. Even though I'm on a beach, I can't like grab the sand and bathe in the sand. There is sea though, seaweed even. Let's take the seaweed. I can't take the sea. I can look at the sea, it looks cool, it beckons me, but my quest is on the island. Speak to the sea, pull the sea, push the sea, open the sea, close the sea. Seaweed doesn't taste too bad for seaweed, that is. It's green and sticky. Are you sure you want to carry it? Use seaweed on the soldier, seaweed on coconut, coconut on seaweed. So I keep thinking the coconut because the coconut has... Using the coconut on the soldier gives you a unique response. He flicks it away with disdain. He's not interested in it. But what would he be interested in? I can break the coconut and then give it to him, but he still just flicks it away. I can't just walk past him, no. Can only move in yellow arrowed directions. Left goes back here to the beach. I can't push him. Can't pull him. Use coconut on the sea. Scoop up some water into the broken coconut. You achieve nothing. Contain some water. Yes! 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 Use coconut on soldier. That was my idea like an hour ago. You throw the water onto the soldier. He goes all hard and firm and keels over, slowly dissolving. What a way to go. Okay. Excitement overtook me for a minute there. Sorry. Oh my gosh. This is a game. I'm going to save. I went and picked up my weapon, my can. I get the feeling this is the final. Bucket. Bucket is made of plastic. Seems lost without its spade. It has a gaping hole in it. Just a reminder, this is a sand castle we're walking into. Let's take the bucket. Is this King Hemorrhoids? King is made of distinguished sand. Sits quietly on his throne. The king says, Have you bought me anything? If not, be off. I haven't bought anything for anyone. Let's push him, let's pull him, let's open him, use him. Here's another one for you, Duke. If you try to use any of the NPCs, you haven't got time for sexual acts. Get on with your quest. That's not really a dick joke, but it's in the same vein. Let's just try the same strategy. Let's refill my coconut. Let's give him the coconut. You achieve nothing. Give him the seaweed. Give him the weapon. Give him the can. What's the purpose of this bucket? This plastic seems lost without its spade. There's a gaping hole in it. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Eliza. Dear Eliza. Hey, Fred M. Sloniker. Good to see you again. So we're back to another NPC. Let's try using this newly acquired bucket in the sea. Whoops. Bucket on the sea. You achieve nothing. Try using the bucket on the scales of injustice, I guess. Achieve nothing. Let's go back to the beginning. The very starting screen. You have a boat that's rusty, it has many holes. Bucket has holes. Let's use these objects together. Achieve nothing. The bucket has a gaping hole in it. It's about as useful as a condom machine in the Vatican. Oh, this is a game. A sign reads, "This harbor is hereby closed. Any violation will result in a really unpleasant, yucky death. Signed, Hemorrhoids." Let's combine some items here. Let's use seaweed in the bucket to patch the hole. So I can't... If I try to use the weapon on anything, it gives me that response. The weapon seems to have a mind of its own. It won't do that. Must be a female weapon. If you examine the weapon, it's long, sharp weapon. It is black and vibrates. So let your imagination fill in the blanks there. This is a very British game, Tango. Highly British. It has the U's in all these words. Strange British spellings. The author he has his address because it's shareware, so he wants you to send him some money. And it's somewhere in somewhere. Warwickshire. That's where he is. Coventry. Sorry, I did not mean to dox him. Let's continue using this bucket on things. Use the bucket on the fisherman. These boxes are just a prank. Poop. Maybe poop can patch the bucket. I'm tempted to do the same thing, Tango. Because the author of this game in one of the files mentions another game that he made that he would give you if you register this. So I want to try to track him down, at least through email. Okay, King doesn't want droppings. I can't take the king, can I? King's made of sand, isn't he? British spelling's like weird. It's made of distinguished sand. He's not sitting on his throne. Unless that's not really his throne. Alright, so far we've maintained a pattern of only using objects once. So I'm going to drop the coconut here. Let's go gather up all the items I have not used. I never used the red herring, so let's take the red herring and give it to the king. Use fish, king. Achieve nothing with the fish. Take the droppings. So can I haven't used, bucket I haven't used, fish I haven't used, droppings I haven't used, weapon and seaweed. Those are all items I have not used. There's also the 4 boxes plus a note. Oh, getting myself turned around again. Here we go. Head back to the village. There's the medicine man and the patient in here. I should be all done with them. But let's use everything on these guys just to be sure. Use a weapon on him. Use can on him. Use bucket. Fish and droppings. Nope. Chief says, please wander about. There's a statue here. The statue's just has painted toenails. It's a clue to how to open a door. Breathing equipment in the shell I've already used. To go swimming. Perhaps I will need to reuse an item. Previous owner. Let's try using my items on him. No luck. Now there's still this door on the left, this tomb door. I haven't opened it. I don't know how to open it. I don't know if I need to open it. There's also the Scales of Injustice. I haven't done anything with these. I don't know if I need to do anything with them. Let's try using all my items on the scales again. Whoops. Nothing. If I try to use the scales, it says I'm slightly too heavy to use them. I don't know if that's an actual clue for what I'm supposed to do with them, or if that's just the parser being the way it is. And I feel like the Scales of Injustice might be something that the king would be interested in, but I can't take them. What's the deal with the bucket? Why would they give me a bucket? I feel like I need to patch this. I feel like I need to patch the bucket because the description has 2 lines. Bucket is made of plastic, seems lost without its spade. It has a gaping hole in it. Everything else has just a 1-line description. It's like it has the description on the top line, then some sort of modifier for the description. Like the coconut had its description on the top. Once I broke it on the second line, it said it was broken in 2. So I feel like I can do something with this bucket. What other areas are lacking a solution? Scales of Injustice. Right here, we have a tomb door on the left. I can't open this door. I don't know if I'm supposed to open the door either, because this is the temple entrance. I went to the temple. This isn't the tomb entrance. But I might need to go into the tomb. Did I ever try the key to the city? There we go. Just had to use the key to the city to unlock the tomb. Okay. Oops, my headphones are getting caught. We made progress. Ooh, a shroud. Ooh, the shroud appears to be a brightly colored flag. Ooh. Let's give this to the king. King gets excited at seeing a flag to put on top of his sand castle. He grabs a shroud off you and leaves you with his previous plaything. Strange rock. Rock is unusually heavy, despite its small size. Speak to the king. King says, "Clear off, I'm playing with my flag." There's only one possible area I can use this strange rock in. Scales of Injustice. Save my game. Place the rock into the scales, they reach equilibrium. Here, click to the west. New path. Hemorrhoids! Oh, it's hemorrhoids! Look at him. You see the shadow of a cloaked man screaming and chanting. Looks like hemorrhoids, the man who has taken over the island. I just saved right before this. Speak to him. He ignores you as if you are of little consequence and carries on chanting. He's probably right. Let's push him, pull him, open him, use him, take him. Poop on him. Use seaweed on hemorrhoids. Use can on hemorrhoids. Use bucket on him. Use fish on hemorrhoids. Use droppings on him. I tried pooping on him. So use the weapon on him. As you aim the weapon at hemorrhoids, it flies from your grasp and rifles into his back. He collapses, dead. Press the key to continue. Tourists flock to Weird Island. Owner rich beyond belief. Lucky sod. Congratulations, you've completed your quest. Press the key to continue. Look at that awesome drawing. Dude, look at that. It's a drawing. There we go. Stop timer. Oh. Thanks for the cheer, Duke. 1 hour, 45 minutes. There is Weird Island, everybody. Whew, that was a game. That was certainly a game. That was pretty cool. I mean, for a game designed, programmed, developed, produced, written, coded, everything by one man, I'm pretty happy with it. It was a something. Play Downtown next. Well, here's the only problem with that, Duke. I can't find it. If you find me Downtown, maybe I need to register this game. If you find me a copy of Downtown, I'll play it. I would love to. As a police investigator in the city of Deisman, you're assigned the case no one wants. Yeah, this one actually has more adult content than the first one. Alright, that was pretty cool. A little bit shorter